this week on the Anime Alchemists Podcast.
Apparently, Chris Brown bought out an entire concert studio that Quavo was performing at, so Quavo had to perform basically to an empty audience. That Soul Leveling has no stakes because he was always destined to be the Shadow Monarch. So the system would not let him lose, basically. Here's a hot take right here. Goblin Slayer started one of the most toxic and destructive eras in dark fantasy.
I'm a simple man. Oh, that's where simp comes from. Simple. Holy shit.
That? 10 out of 10, dog.
Live on the podcast.
That's an Anime Alchemist exclusive. That's a really good question. Like,
we never ask, we always ask your favorite top 5, but give me your fucking ones and twos. What do you despise? What do you hate?
Let's see. I think. Oh, thank goodness. Oh,
yeah.
I don't need this to be my cancel spear.
Nah, we good.
Trust me, we have said way worse shit on here.
We'll see. I've put a 2024 bingo card of what's gonna get me canceled this year.
Really? Can I ask what's on that bingo card?
I know. Martine, you have an obsession with bingo cards.
Yeah, kinda. Cause y'all never want to fucking do them.
List of animes, like that's his bingo card.
Yeah. Well, somebody, I don't know. Fuck you.
I'm gonna make an anime watch list bingo card and see.
I pitched that idea early in the year and nobody wanted to fucking do it.
I'm gonna pass them out, and that's gonna be how we encourage him to watch.
Fuck y'all. I literally pitched that in January. I'd be like, that'd be such a good idea. Nobody fucking did anything.
Hold on. What were you saying?
Damn. No one takes your opinion seriously.
Stab you with a real knife.
I'm gonna edit this episode, and I'm gonna edit out every time Gary opens his mouth. He's gonna be like, and then it's gonna cut to Emery, and then Gary's gonna try to say something, and it's gonna cut to me.
No. I'll cover
You won't
my
exist.
mouth. I'll cover my mouth so you don't have to.
It's literally gonna be an hour of you like this.
I'll cover my mouth so you don't have to.
And then all the comments are gonna be like, "Who's that guy in the middle just covering his mouth the whole time? He never says anything."
Yeah, you know what the most messed up part is? Like, if I was watching that, I would think like he had bad breath or something.
Either that, or I could just make the entire episode Gary. We don't talk, it's just Gary talking to himself the entire time. I'll fucking do it, bro.
Do it. I'm sure people would love it.
Our
Ooh,
most watched
that'd
video.
be a real ego check if it was your most popular.
Like, look, guys, it worked.
I'm the most
I don't
popular
need y'all
host.
anymore.
The people have spoken.
Damn, that's what they needed.
It's the Gary podcast now.
It's either that or YouTube immediately copyrights it. I'd be like, nope, can't put that up there.
He's the Beyonce for your Spice Girls.
Oh.
Or was it
I
TLC?
thought that was Emery.
Well, he's the one that has the solo career, so.
I'm like JT.
JT.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Gotta get the bleach tips.
Yeah. No.
Oh,
He thinks he's a bad boy.
he's
He
He's a
thinks
very
about
bad
being
boy.
soft.
a teddy bear.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, like I said.
Yeah, I was just really looking through it. I was like, oh man, there's gonna be so much fucking hate about some of these questions.
Nah, you're good, dude. This is the podcast, in my opinion, that you can voice whatever opinion you want. We'll be like,
Honestly, yeah, we kind of justify like everybody's fucking takes, to be completely honest.
I feel like the anime hill that I'm gonna die on is gonna piss some people off.
You'd be surprised.
I hope it pisses one of us off. It'll be interesting.
It'll be very
entertaining.
exposing if it doesn't piss you off.
Huh.
okay, I'm
Okay.
curious now.
Yeah, now I'm very
It's
curious.
gonna be like you're gonna be like the Drake, and I'm gonna be Kendrick Lamar.
Oh my god, we were just talking about that, bro. The memes have been so fucking funny.
It's been
Bro, he
great.
just dropped another one today. You know that?
Another one? Dude,
Yeah,
Kendrick has like a bunch just kind of like saved, ready to go.
Bro, he's just literally. Oh, did you see the cover album to the newest one?
No, I didn't. What does it look
It-
like?
It's a bunch so it shows Drake's house and a bunch of sex offender pop-ups. Like whenever you look at the map, listed at his address. There's like
No
16
way.
of them or some shit like that.
Oh my god.
God
bro.
damn, that's fucking crazy.
Drake is getting dragged through the fucking mud right now. We saw a
And
picture. There was it was a Google Maps picture of Drake's house, and on it said owned by Kendrick.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's so
He's
good.
Yo, Drake should have just kept his fucking mouth shut.
Yeah.
Apparently, Chris Brown bought out an entire concert studio that Quavo was performing at, so Quavo had to perform basically to an empty audience.
Shut the fuck up.
You're kidding me.
No.
so fucking
and, it-
petty.
So fucked up.
and Chris Brown didn't even go to it either.
Whoa,
He just bought the tickets.
bro.
Hey,
what
he
the
has money like that still? What the fuck?
I mean, it's Chris Brown. It doesn't surprise me.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised. He was smart with his money, I guess.
It's funny seeing all the like anime comparisons they're doing to the beef. Like they're comparing Kendrick to fucking Aizen just being the absolute biggest fucking villain. I've seen comparisons to like Yuji from JJK, just Black Flash on Drake.
The only thing is, Yuji ain't on that level though.
You read the manga
Oh,
by any
man.
chance?
Bro,
Dude.
I am current. I am current
Oh,
as
okay.
fuck, and I
Wait,
I am
careful
not.
though, because Gary is not. I was just curious.
am not.
just to
I'm
see. Sorry,
sorry.
my bad. I had to ask that question.
I'm
I'm
waiting
sorry.
for the I'm waiting for the leaks every week.
Oof.
Yeah, they shut
Oh.
down a lot of those too. It's hard. They're hard to come by now.
They don't come out as like often, not often, but they don't come out like on schedule as they used to. But they're still coming out somehow.
Mhm.
I don't know how, but they are, and I'm not questioning it.
Yeah, of course you're not.
Why would I?
You still get the content. Screw it.
It's fucking. I need it. I need the chapter.
He needs that one piece.
Egris's level
I would
to
say
where he's at.
I can see what you mean. I kind of agree with certain things. The Egris fight, I think he got really lucky. I think he got lucky that Egris was like, you know what, fine, I'll drop my sword. You want to go like, this fight, fuck it,
Fisticuffs.
let's do it. I think if Egris would have been like, nah, fuck you, I'm gonna kill you regardless, Sung Jin-woo would have been done. Like, there's no way he was gonna win that fight. Everything else, like his fight with Biru, like the Ant King guy, I think that was like also relatively challenging for him. And I don't think he had Egris fighting Biru, did he?
I feel like the ice elf was like more of a challenge to where he was at in power level
Mm-hmm.
in comparison to like Jeju. I mean, he teleported there and just like rolled up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
at that point he was already broken and like overpowered as fuck. But
So I was talking to a podcaster earlier this week, and they kind of put it in a different context, and it kind of opened my eyes. And they said that soul leveling has no stakes because he was always destined to be the Shadow Monarch.
That's
So the
interesting.
system would not let him lose, basically.
Right.
It forced him into those positions because it knew he would persevere through them.
That's actually a pretty good perspective. That one's hard to argue because it's true. But I guess like maybe I just personally don't care. Like you're right.
Yeah, like
but it's so
like
cool.
once like the big reveal comes at the end.
Yeah,
and so you're
yeah.
like you've already gone through the whole journey, and so it just kind of like puts a little bit of rain cloud over it.
Mhm.
But you still had the journey there.
Yeah, that's fair. Would he fall into that category of like the prophecy child, the destined, child, like Naruto was
Nepo baby.
a Nepo
I don't
baby
know.
sort of
I don't
thing?
know, cause like when we're first introduced to him, he's like the weakest, and then it goes through all this stuff, and then like he gains power, and that everything that happens at the end happens, and it kind of loops back around,
Mm-hmm.
and then we see like, oh, okay, this is like an infinite kind of.
Loop.
It's an
Cycle.
infinite loop,
Yeah.
basically.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the what we saw was that loop being created, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because what sparked it all was I had the question of, you remember at the beginning when he goes into the double dungeons and that timer's going on, and they basically have the weeping angel situation with those statues, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody leaves but him. But I asked the question, if they had, if three of them had chosen to stay and they went back to back and watched it till the timer went out, would all three of them have the option to be players? Or would another challenge have come up to cull the herd even more?
See, I feel
Ooh.
like it would have been really cool if there was multiple people who were players and like they all had their own motivations and affected the world in different ways.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
That would have been dope because there are multiple monarchs. Like, it's not just the
Mhm.
Shadow Monarch. You get the dragon one. You get the other ones that I don't remember.
But I feel like they would have to call the rest of them off.
Yeah.
So there's only one.
Yeah, I feel like it would have just been another challenge to kind of weed people out. And at the end of the day, like, yeah, the system kind of was made to, like, have Sung Jin-woo be the Shadow Monarch and, like, not let him lose. But also, he would have never been in that situation if it wasn't for his own choices at the beginning. He was literally the deciding vote on whether or not they even go into the double dungeon. So I feel like that already shows that, like, he had some control over it. Had he never wanted to go in there, maybe he would have never gotten the chance to be the Shadow Monarch.
That's a really good point.
I'd have to go back and read, but wasn't he always the Shadow Monarch, basically?
The
I mean,
ending
yeah,
is
technically, yeah.
fuzzy, I guess.
No, because he got the black heart after he actually died, right? Like that's
is that when he got it?
truly
Die
became
once,
the
yeah.
Shadow Monarch.
Mm-hmm.
Is like when he had the black heart replace his heart.
Yeah.
But that was after. That was when he was fighting those other two
The other two
Monarch.
monarchs.
no, they weren't monarchs. They were like something else. They're emperors or kings.
I don't remember. The whole ending of solo leveling is so fuzzy for me. It's been like
There was a
3
lot
years
going
since
on.
I've read it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things that I love solo leveling. It's one of my favorite mangas I've read. It's right now one of my favorite animes that has come out recently. But the ending was so, I don't know, like kind of rushed, I guess. Like I got confused. I was like, wait, this went up in scale so much faster than I was expecting it to. I would have liked for it to maybe take its time a little bit more because I felt like once the other monarchs got introduced, it just started going.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what the fuck is going on?
It sped run the whole
Yeah.
third half.
Yeah, exactly. And that could have been due to, like, you know, the illustrator's health because I know that he wasn't in great shape, was he? Remember how he
Yeah,
passed
I'm
away
pretty sure. Yeah, he
recently.
did pass away
So it
recently
maybe
after
that
it finished.
could be a reason, but I'm not totally sure. And that's why I'm excited to see the anime because maybe, like, I always have faith that anime adaptations can sometimes fix things that the manga doesn't do well. Maybe take its time a little bit more, flesh out certain story or plot lines that weren't really portrayed the best in the manga. So we'll see. I mean, I think that'd be
Yeah.
dope.
Well,
Yeah, like Ghost Stories. That was probably the best adaptation we
Ghost
got.
Stories is the best fucking anime ever. It's the best dub for anime I've ever seen.
I just saw a fucking video on that like this past week, and the fact that you guys are referencing it now, I'm just like, motherfucker.
It's been coming back.
Has it?
Yeah, it's been coming back on like the trending stuff. So I've never seen it, but I keep on seeing clips and I love them.
It's
My
so good.
my favorite one's the dyslexic.
The dyslexic one.
Like, oh, sorry, I forgot you're dyslexic. You do what? How?
Seven.
Answer. Like, I'm just like, it doesn't work like that, but fuck you. 'cause
That one
I've
hit
had
home for you, didn't it?
so much because I have had people do that shit to me.
Don't fucking talk to me like Yoda.
Just pretend you're being chased by a big black man. Oh, at least you're not racist.
At least you're not racist. Oh my god. I've been wanting to show clips of that to like my non-anime friends just to be like, hey, what do you think of this?
They did this. This was a
This is
thing.
the thing. You can watch it.
Hey man, if you guys need something to fill that, like
Dub
time,
or sub.
Oh my god. I've wanted to put that in a dub or sub.
if you know you and your friends are done with like your Harry Potter, clubs, now convert to that.
Yeah. Just be like, hey, look at this anime real quick.
It'll be worth it. Trust me.
Trust me.
I cannot get over every time like looking over and just seeing that talking to
yeah,
us.
the
Yeah,
avatar.
it's great. It's great though, because there's a face. Yeah, there's a face for
Yeah.
it.
and it's that one. It's that one right there that
It's-
gets me.
It's so good.
It's my pretty face. And if you don't compliment me,
Your eyes
I
are
would
so
be very
pretty.
sad.
I'd love that.
Welcome back to the Anime Alchemists Podcast. My name is Emery.
My name is Gary.
My name's Martine.
Today we are joined by a guest. Some of you may know him as the Dark Sand Lord himself, or Tony.
Welcome, man. How's it going?
Oh, it's going good. I'm awake. It's a Sunday, so I can't complain. and I've got a crap load of video editing and script writing to do.
Fun.
That sounds like the greatest way to spend your Sunday.
Oh yeah, for sure. We were talking about that a little bit before we started recording, but we've already been talking for a minute now.
Mhm.
I figure might as well actually introduce our show.
For those of you who are listening, it is episode 130. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, whether it's on Apple Podcast, no, not Google Podcast, Spotify. Mm-hmm.
You did good for not mentioning Google Podcasts for a few weeks.
Yeah, it just naturally came back to me. Appreciate you guys. If you guys are watching on YouTube, it drops every Thursday. Anime Alchemists Podcast. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, turn those notifications on. If you guys don't know, spoiler warning, code spoiler warning, will get you 10% off on some G Fuel. Now let's talk about some more anime.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do this.
So okay, well, like we kind of like geeked out and talked about solo leveling for a fat minute. So like we kind of like have to get into like the nitty and gritty of like what brought you to this point of being like are you the owner of the Dark Sands Oasis Productions?
Yes, I am the owner, I am the writer, and I deal with art direction in terms of layouts and stuff like that. I have 2 full-time artists. I have, up until recently, 2 part-time artists, and I'm working on 3 different series at this point. Devil's Deal, Deep Stalker Crow, which is the newest revamp project, and Night of Slaughter, which is my most popular one.
Wow. That's awesome that you have multiple projects. I think you're the first guest that we've had that has like a whole studio company kind
Production
of
for it.
production for it. That's insane. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, thank you. Like it all kind of boils down to like after I got introduced into this world, like I surround myself with a bunch of creatives, so writers, artists, and stuff like that. And I went out and I bought a Surface Pro to draw because I was like, I'm gonna do this myself. Fuck
Yeah,
this.
Yeah.
And so me and my writer buddies are just sitting around doing, drawing, and they're way better than me. And I'm like, I'm gonna do the 100 face challenge. And about phase 20, I was like, man, this takes forever. I got other shit to do. I've already written books. I'm already good at that. I'm just gonna stick with that. So
like a true owner, this takes too long. I need someone else who's better, like to do this. That's the best way to do it. Get people who are good at the things like that take too much time to like ramp out that content, bro. That's awesome.
Yeah, because it's like everything that I do takes place in the same world. So I had at that time like 4 stories that I want to get done. I was like, there's no way I'm ever going to be able to tell these stories in a timely manner if I don't basically focus on the writing and just get artists to take care of each of these projects so we can simulcast, like, release everything.
Right. That's crazy.
That's cool.
Which one was your first project?
My first project is the one that's kind of like in the background on the left. It was Deep Stalker Crow. It was an American comic, and I absolutely hate this project, which is why it's getting redone. So we had 2 volumes come out, and I redid the script for the revamp. I got a brand new mangaka for it, and it's going to be like more traditional format with like, instead of, 2 volumes, 60 pages each, this one's going to be like 260.
Oh wow, that's crazy. What didn't you like about it that made you want to kind of like do a refresh on it or restart?
So, do y'all know Image Comics?
I'm not familiar now.
So, the guys who made Spawn.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, there's a guy here locally. He was with Image Comics when they first started up. He's a colorist, and he's the one who actually pitched the idea, because I was a novelist before this. He was like, hey, have you ever thought about getting into comics? I was like, nope. And he was like, all right, cool. Well, how about you look into this stuff? And, we connected. He became my mentor. And in the book, he's actually, in the credits, is kind of like the editor, but he was there to make sure that, I effectively led the team, because we had a pencils and inks, and we had a colorist. We had him and me, and everything was going well. The project was underway for about a year, and we only ever got like 27 pages of content, and then personality differences and stuff like that broke down. So we ended up like, the one of the lead artists was like, hey man, it's been a year, we haven't finished the project, I don't really like doing this project anymore. I want to do other things, but I'll finish, the next, 5 pages. And I was like, you know what? Don't even bother. Just stop here. I'd rather you not work on something you don't want to do. And the book still wouldn't even be done. So why waste the extra money?
Okay.
So thankfully, we were at a point where there was a decent cutoff. And so I cut the script in half, published volume 1 to get it out there. And then I took the lead mangakas from Night of Slaughter and Devil's Deal like a year later, because my little sister really liked the first one. And I was like, you know what, screw it. This will be a little fun side project to have them collaborate together. And so that was the inception of volume 2. And what I hate about it is it's basically one book split into 2. And I don't like that, because it's a weaker project altogether. And I've improved as a writer. So that's why we're revamping from the ground up, throwing both those old books away.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. No, that takes a lot of like courage, in my opinion, to restart. And like it's very insightful of you too, because you're recognizing some of your strengths and weaknesses early on, and then you're like, no, like I have a different vision for it too, and you're wanting to do it properly. I feel like that shows that you have a lot of like passion in those projects.
Oh yeah, that's not even the worst one. That's not even the worst redo I've ever done.
Really?
The Devil's Deal, which is on the right side of my head right now, with the woman with the afro, that had 75 pages for chapter 1, and I'd put it on Webtoons. It had been out for about a year, and I'd been on TikTok, and I had talked to the fans in the Discord, and the general consensus is like, chapters 2 through 8 are really, really solid. 1's okay. And chapter 1 is the most important chapter of any book. It's the thing that gets the reader in it. And they were like, it's okay, but it's not really super captivating. So I was like, all right, screw it. We scrapped 75 pages. I rewrote the entire first chapter from the ground up, got a whole new list of like alpha and beta readers, redid it, and now everyone is like, this is where it should have been at. It's vastly superior. So that's what's in the books right now.
Right.
Dude, that's awesome.
That's fucking cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, it's cool. Like, you're right. That first impression is so important. I mean, how many times have we talked about, like our first episode of the podcast? It's so like different compared to the content and the quality that you can produce later on, And I feel like obviously they're different mediums. Like, I think maybe podcasting, you are expecting a less quality project at the beginning versus the more recent stuff, but for a manga you would like to have like that same quality be more consistent from chapter 1 all the way to the current one.
Yeah, I mean, definitely that's the general idea, but I think especially being indie, pretty much anyone who goes into this sphere, especially like if you're reading on like the Webtoons app, they know that you're not going to be the best of the best.
That's true. Yeah.
So they're willing to give you that lenience.
That's good.
But I don't want to be considered, a Webtoons, indie guy. I want to be known as a very professional content creator that's going to give you the best all the time.
Right. No, I respect it, man.
Yeah, no, yeah, I fucking resonate with that. Yeah, no, seriously. So, quick question, just like because you are like so deep into this industry, like, what got you like originally into it?
Like, are you talking about in terms of just the transition from comics to manga, or just what got me into manga?
What got you
or
into
writing?
Manga? Actually, damn.
Yeah, both.
I'd
Yes.
I'd say writing. I'm more interested in that. Like, what got you into writing?
Okay.
All right, buckle up, boys. We got story time. So back when I was in high school, like I've always been a creative person, but I never did anything. Just for context, I only read one book in my entire life throughout high school from start to finish. Everything else, I basically spark noted. I did everything I could to not read a damn book. But there was one book, and it's called Goldilocks. It was about like a modern day Medusa. And that was it up until that point. But in high school, I had moved to Pennsylvania because my mom wanted some D and uprooted everyone for it.
Damn.
know,
That's a way to put it, bro.
I hate to say that, but I feel that way more than most of the people would.
It was literally like, hey son, you wanna go to Pennsylvania? There's a guy I like. And I was like, sure, my friends are on drugs. I ain't got jack shit to do down here. Let's go. So the funny thing is, she never got with the guy.
No.
She uprooted, moved, and never got with him.
That's
Like
fucking wild.
dating.
Damn,
So I still laugh about that shit today.
that's crazy.
But up there, I met a guy, and he was like, "Hey, man, we're friends with this mutual person. Do you want to try something called D&D?" And I was like, "All right, screw it." So we went to this stranger's house, and while we were there, he was like in like short shorts, like baggy short shorts, like white wife beater, grease slick back man bun hair, and he was like, "All right, hey man, what's up? All right, cool. Come to my basement." And I was like, you know what, my black senses aren't going off right now, so let's do it. So we go into his kitchen, he lifts up a trap door, and we walk into this dude's basement. And it's like a dungeon style, like he's got like dragon skulls on the wall and stuff like that, and a big table set up. And that's how we started playing D&D. And
You got lucky, my guy.
bruh, it was because I knew the other guy.
That's good. Yeah. I was like, you're just explaining this, and I'm like, bro, like, I feel like every other person would turn tail and run.
I feel like
Bro, if Emery took me into a dangerous situation like that, I'd be like, okay, he's
Fuck it.
bringing me full trust. It's my homie.
Fuck it, we ball.
like
I ain't got nothing else to live for right now, so let's see where this ride takes us.
any other day, that would have been a different themed dungeon.
You know what? I'm glad it was a D&D day and
Yeah.
not the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes
So-
sense that D&D is like what kind of sparked that curiosity, because D&D you can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it was 12 to 16-hour days of gaming. Like I got fully immersed. Eventually I took over the DM seat,
Mm-hmm.
and I basically rarely ever went back to the player seat. Like even after I moved away, became an adult, did the military thing, I was pretty much always the DM. And over 10 years, when I finally decided I was leaving Utah, I was like, all right, man, I'm done hosting groups. I don't want to restart again, but I'm not going to throw away 10 years worth of world building. So then in 2018, found out about National Writers Month, and I hooked up with some local writers. They kind of got me into the whole gig. And basically, I tried to write 50,000 words in 1 month, did not do it. But it got me in the habit of writing every day. I joined a critique group where every Monday for 2 years, I went there and basically showed my work off. We read it aloud. I got to critique other people's work in a super, encouraging environment. And once I got the novels out, because I was like, if I'm going to start this, I'm writing a book. I'm not going to not write a book. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to make a liar of myself. I wrote a trilogy.
Wow,
Damn.
that's insane.
And yeah, I got the whole thing written out, got it professionally edited, and then I never went back and, actually did the edits for that one. So eventually, I'm releasing them now to the audience, say, hey, is this something you guys want me to do? But basically that led me into, doing the comics. And then whenever I did the American style comics, I was like, I just don't connect to this, medium. I don't like the expressions. I don't like the way the action's not exaggerated like that. And manga had exactly what I was looking for.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's when I was like, I love anime. I love the art style of manga. Let me just transition into this medium.
Right. Oh, that's badass. I like that you make a point to differentiate the American style comics from manga, because there is a very big difference.
Mhm.
I feel like sometimes it can be kind of categorized into the same thing for people who aren't in that world, but they are different in my opinion, and you can get vastly different stories and just experiences from each. Not to say one is better than the other, but that's a good point that you're making. I like that.
Yeah, I always love to go to when people are like, what's the difference between American comics and Japanese comics manga, and what makes something manga? I always go to Viz Media's Q&A section, because Viz Media is partially owned by Shueisha, which owns Shonen Jump. So I'm going to defer to the industry leader. And Viz defines manga as a style and a format rather than the origin of the culture of the origin of the story itself.
Oh.
Okay.
He's spitting facts right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So, for all those people that give shit, saying for people like us, we make a manga. It's like, no, man, you're in America. It's just a comic. It's like, no,
That's cultural appropriation. It's just a comic. Don't call it manga. No,
no, it's
it's a style. It's an art form. It's a way of telling a story.
hmm.
And I always, and like when people don't like that answer, I always refer to, why would Shueisha host an international manga creator contest where they are willing to sign and publish international artists if they do not classify international creators as mangaka if they're doing it in the style and format?
That's a good point.
That's a great point. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Actually,
He just spitting more facts.
for real.
I've had to have this argument enough times, and I'm like, all right. But,
yeah, I
but
could
you know
tell.
what's super weird about it though? If you go to the same Q&A form, and it's like, well, what is anime? It doesn't give you that same differentiator.
I feel like the lines are a little bit more blurred when it comes to that because there's been so many like American show, like Avatar, for example. How many people call it an honorary anime, but it was like a Western cartoon, right?
Yeah, but then you get those purists that are just like, no, it's not
It's not
anime.
anime. Like at that point, yeah, that one I feel like is way harder to put concrete. like,
animation.
it's animation,
Mhm.
you know. But with like if you have Japanese elements to it, then that's when it gets like, well, like it's kind of anime, but like not really. Like I have friends who aren't into it at all, and they love Avatar, but they're like, yeah, the only anime I like is Avatar, and like I feel wrong saying like, well, that's not anime, but I also like I don't know how to respond all the time because I'm torn. Like I can see arguments on both sides, I guess.
So yeah, I would look at it this way: is if you pick up a book and when you read it, you're like, damn, this thing is a really good manga, or you're watching a show and it's so stylized that it feels like an anime, like something that you would get from one of those big traditional anime studios like MOP or something. Then you might as well consider that because they have done the work into making it look enough like the medium that it basically is.
Yeah.
And getting into semantics is not going to do anybody any good.
Yeah, you're right. I've seen I remember when I was a kid on like Disney, I think it was like Disney XD or like Jetix, if y'all remember what that was. They used to have cartoons and I couldn't remember
Do
the
you
name
remember
of them.
that robot monkey force?
Yeah, something like that. It was so like anime-esque, but like I look at it and I'm like, that's not anime. That's more just like a cartoon including anime things to make it kind of look like it. It's like surface level, but it's really not. It's just a cartoon.
Like Teen Titans Go.
See, like Teen
Oh,
Titans
God.
Go, and then Teen Titans, like the original Teen Titans, like that one I could see an argument, for it being kind of anime, I guess. It even has a Japanese opening. So like,
That's true.
right? Like how
I think they only did that for filler episodes.
but they still did it. That's the
That
thing.
is correct.
Yeah, I find it fucking awesome though that they had both like as an option. So I don't know, like
And the funny thing is the argument really only exists in America because when you ask a Japanese person what is anime, they'll sit here and say SpongeBob is an anime.
Yeah.
Peter Griffin,
You don't-
favorite anime character.
Yeah.
really,
When you ask them
Yeah.
what their favorite animes are, it is Western animation.
that's so crazy. I had no idea about
Fun
that.
fact, bro, you know
Anime
what they
is
love?
just animation in general.
Just
Mickey
animation.
Mouse, anything.
You know what they
Yeah.
love?
Mhm.
SpongeBob, King of the Hill.
King of the Hill.
Wow, why King of the Hill?
It is.
God damn it, Bobby! What are you
it's-
talking about?
We sell propane and propane accessories.
Propane. That's
Love me some
okay. I
good
had
old
no clue.
propane. Yeah, like over there, like that is not an argument over there that you will really hear a lot. It's just the weeboos on the west.
Wow.
But
So
they
we're the
argue about dub or
Fucking
sub.
colonizers.
They argue about dub or sub for King of the Hill, though.
A sub for King of the Hill.
No, they argue about dub or sub for King of the Hill.
Oh, I think you've said that before. Like they have dub versus sub.
I don't know.
I'm gonna watch it in Japanese
So
and see
am
if
I.
it's better.
That's pretty funny.
I'll
heard
give it a
about it in
shot,
English.
but I mean it's gonna be hard to beat.
Oh yeah, it's hard to beat that accent.
Hill's just hilarious. Dude.
Yeah. So when you said that like you didn't really connect with the Western comic style and you gravitated more towards like the manga style, was there a specific manga that you found that kind of like inspired you to be like, oh, like I like manga more, like this is the style that I'm trying to, I don't know, maybe not replicate, but just like this is what you were wanting to do?
So, as controversial as it's going to be, I had only ever been an anime watcher until I decided to make manga. And it's only then that I was like, all right, if I'm going to make it, I need to know about it. So then I started reading. And I want to say, I think it was Attack on Titan
Oh.
that I started reading because I had made it through season 1 and I was like, holy shit, I need to know more. So I started reading and I was like, once we got to that one, kind of arc where it transitioned from a story about Titans to, the whole Civil War and all, I was like, man, this is getting too convoluted. I'm out. And then I moved to like Chainsaw Man and then Fire Fist. I always set the example of like, I want my work to be seen as detailed as, Berserk. I want to sit among the greats of dark fantasy, but I've never read Berserk to the full, like, to finish.
Yeah, that's fair. I haven't read it either. I know that it is amazing.
Y'all should.
I just can't have any opinions on it myself because I haven't read it.
Y'all should.
I've got the compendiums in my room. I've got compendiums 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Wow.
And I just haven't been able to make it through it. Like, it's a lot of content.
It is, but it's a hell of a story.
Yeah, it seems like it's more
Yes.
than worth it.
You know what's really funny? Berserk and The Witcher have a very similar opening in their books.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I do.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, the first book of
That
The
is
Witcher,
funny.
he's banging, I think, a mermaid, and then Guts is banging the demon, and I was just like,
I did
that's
read
a
that.
weird.
I didn't even finish that like the first couple of chapters, but I remember that versus like he was Guts was fucking banging that demon, and I was like, oh, okay, this is how we're starting.
Yeah, that's right, because I have that first one, and you definitely looked
Sometimes
at
you
it.
gotta get your rocks off, bro.
They want you to know what this is about.
This ain't no
But,
kid story.
No, the
But yeah.
demon doesn't fuck you. You fuck the demon.
So, is that an allegory for fucking yourself? You gotta fuck your inner demons.
Huh.
Wow,
Yeah,
wise
why-
words. I like it.
See,
Why is
there's
it
so
words we
much
never
to
spoken?
analyze in Berserk.
So, but to answer your question, yes, I do take a lot from different series. Like, I hated My Hero Academia. This might be a hot take. I thought, like, there's a reason I don't watch Black Clover. There's a reason I hated My Hero Academia, and it was the screaming, the whining, the crying, and I could not handle it. So I dropped after season 1. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Right.
And so I was like, I ain't gotta hear yelling if I read the manga.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, My Hero Academia is one of the most popular series that deals with class sizes, and I want to see how the creator handled it.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I think 300 chapters in, and it's been an absolute struggle. And I have realized My Hero Academia does some things really, really well.
Uh-huh.
Really well. They
Yeah.
built Deku up over time really well, and I can really appreciate his character development.
Mhm.
I loved All Might. I love the themes of the story.
Mhm.
However, the thing that I read the book for is the thing that they do the worst, and it's managed class size. It is poorly paced out because they're trying to manage such a large class size.
Yeah.
'Cause
No,
then-
yeah, I agree 100%.
So in volume 2 of the Night of Slaughter, I introduced a class size of 20. So I've been able to take the lessons of what they did poorly and apply it in such a way that Night of Slaughter does not suffer the same issues with their pacing.
Gotcha. No,
Ye-
that's a fantastic point of view, actually. That's
I know that's got me scared now.
Bro, that is quite literally the reason I stopped reading My Hero is because I started realizing that problem is like I love the story of My Hero, I love Deku, I love All Might, I love, the villains and everything, but fuck, like I think he fumbled the way he wrote the rest of the class because it's so far into the end game and you're just like the focus is really on Shigaraki, right? And then for me, I was just all in on All For One, Shigaraki, Deku, even Bakugo, like the main characters, right? And then all of a sudden we started pivoting to one of the side characters in the class that like I don't dislike the character, but I don't really care about his personal struggles at this very moment. I would have taken it earlier on, so I cared about him more here. Like you can bring him back, but this is something I should have known it a while ago, in my opinion. So that's why I just started getting frustrated because it kept cutting away from like the main action to tell. By the way, this is this character's side story, and this is why he's like this, and you should know about this. And I'm like, oh, give me that in the first like 2 or 3 seasons. Don't give me it at the end in the final war. You know, that was just me. Like, it did not resonate with me, and I had to stop reading. So I was like, whatever.
I blame the fans.
Yeah,
I blame the
I
fans,
blame them,
bro. They literally like made him backtrack and sideline and rearrange how he was gonna do shit because death threats and they were crazy.
Oh, they are
fucking crazy.
crazy.
I blame the fans. It's y'all's fault.
Look. Death threats are the ultimate form of appreciation for
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Look, if I get somebody so in their feelings that they are willing to send me death threats, dude, I'm fapping to that right there.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. That's gonna
I'm
be
gonna
like,
frame this death threat. I guess my first one.
I'm
it's so
bullshitting.
good.
Like, you guys know how much I love to fuck with them in the
Yeah,
comments.
bro, you fucking get off on the hate comments that you get on TikTok.
do. At the moment somebody's just like, listen, buddy, I'm gonna come to your house and fucking stab you. I'm like, bet.
Do it.
Screenshot.
Be like, yes.
That's what I want.
Uh-huh.
Fuck y'all.
Just put-
psychos.
It's like,
Just put together a fat binder of hate comments.
Just reading through it.
Hate comments Hall of Fame right there.
Just
Oh,
make
I
a
love
video of you for 5 minutes reading through all your like most hateful comments. You're like, I love y'all.
I love it. My biggest
This
fan.
is what I live for right here.
Bro, that's kind of like ND on TikTok where like he took a whole
oh my
Yeah.
god.
dude. Like I'm mutual with ND and I talk to him
Same.
and I'm like, you know, I respect what he does, but I'm like I cannot deal with that much, hate on a daily basis because of the things that he's intentionally poking the bear. If people fall for it, they're falling right into his hands.
That was like, yeah, literally me with Boruto community.
Yeah, you even had to like cut back a little bit. I've noticed that you're
Yeah.
nowhere near as like hostile towards that community. as
Every
you
other
used to
word
be.
out of my mouth was fuck Boruto.
Yeah.
like there was.
Oh, start talking shit about Sarada being a disgrace to the Uchiha.
Ooh.
That's the new angle. Rather than just straight on Boruto, it's like, but Boruto.
Why did you cut back? I'm curious. I never really asked you why you kind of just like stopped talking shit about it.
All right, listen, pause the recording.
You could just cut it out.
That's so dirty right there.
Man, you should have
couldn't
kept that
admit it.
in. The people will never know now.
I knew what I was doing.
The world may never know.
We know.
But we know.
Yeah, you guys know.
One day when he's getting canceled, I'm just gonna come out of nowhere and confirm these allegations.
Oh, bro. I can't wait for those videos.
It's like the three of us come up as testimony. It's like, on May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, Emery said, bleep.
It made me feel a certain way. It made me feel real sad that the hate wasn't authentic.
It was all a show.
That was honestly the end of it all.
Yeah. I miss the old Emery. The one that actually hated for it.
Bro. Dude, that's fucking great.
That's fucking hilarious.
But I mean, so I know like in the questionnaire you guys sent asking for a little bit about the process. So
Yes.
I can actually talk a little bit about, how you can apply those lessons and how I would have fixed My Hero with my own series. No spoilers though. Is the way that I've determined to actually fix that pacing issue is in volume 2 you're going to get introduced to all the characters. You get about 20 additional characters. But where My Hero sticks them all together and you travel throughout the story and then have specific, X amount of chapters dedicated to, getting in their feelings and backstory. Instead of doing that, we're going to break the class size up into their own individual trainers. And as the main character goes through each of these trainers, you get to deal with each of these characters and learn about them on a more intimate level without taking away from the main plot of the story.
That's kind of dope. I would have liked that a lot more, actually. That kind of falls into almost like what Naruto did. Maybe not that well, but like Naruto at least had the different senseis and like the 3 students under each. Like you had Kurenai and her 3. You had Asuna, right? The other sensei, the one with the blades. You had him. Like you had him.
Yeah.
You had the class separated into little trios, and overall, like you're following the story. But every now and then, you'd see the other kids, and you get to learn a little bit about Shikamaru, a little bit about Kiba, you know,
A little bit about Lee.
a little bit about Lee, like shit like that. That's cool. And then by the end of the story, you don't need to shoehorn in some random ass fucking backstory about Kiba. You already got it early on when he was split up.
You mean like Demon Slayer did with every one of its villains?
Yes.
I mean, kinda, yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
It's no
Like-
wonder. It's no wonder you didn't get through Shippuden, bro. That when you get to the war arc, they do it left and fucking right.
I was literally thinking like
It's like flashback,
gosh.
flashback, flashback,
one
flashback.
of the coolest fucking moments, and I will ride or die to that fucking night guy. Was it flashback?
My guy.
Was the fucking flashback really necessary about his dad doing it? And
I would say like
See-
again, like
see-
could have done it earlier. But
yeah.
See, but the thing is, my guy was well established.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
had been with him for seasons,
Mhm.
years.
Mhm.
He already had it built up.
Yeah.
But with Demon Slayer, they're just like, hey, here's the enemy. And we want you to feel bad like right before they die so we can get some like cheap emotional
Yeah.
investment from you. And I was like, bro, that's
They quite
sweet
literally have done
fucking
that every
writing.
season so far. I haven't even read the manga, but I can kind of like attest to that. Like I've noticed it in the anime so far for most of the villains. So
Yeah. Honestly, when I'm watching Demon Slayer and it gets to that point, it's like, okay, I know what you're doing, but I have to let myself be vulnerable for the sake of the plot.
yeah.
No, you don't. No, the fuck you don't. You give them what they earn.
I mean, look, I just try to live through it and ignore it. You know, just like, all right,
Suspension of
I'm gonna be
disbelief.
watching it.
You want to know another lesson? I mean, this is probably going to get some hate. I got some heat right here.
Clip this.
Cooking.
Nezuko is probably one of the worst written female characters and could have been replaced with a dog.
The majority of the series, she had something in her mouth to keep her from talking. A muzzle.
Oh my god.
She had a muzzle.
Wait, so she doesn't get better?
She was literally
finally
nothing
talk.
but she's
Plot.
nothing but a walking, talking Deus Ex Machina. She earned no
He's right.
power up. She
He's
did
right.
not earn the ability to speak. She didn't earn anything. She was literally there to save Tandro from all of the bullshit.
Damn.
And you could have replaced her with a dog and nothing would have changed.
That's fucking
Well,
wild.
except for Zenitsu, because then he would have been a pedophile.
Man's got jokes. I like it.
So he's a furry too.
Zenitsu would have been a furry. Holy
But
shit!
it-
You're not wrong. Yeah, I agree.
And did you guys hear that the voice actress for Nezuko got a nomination during the Crunchyroll voice acting awards?
Like performance? For what
What?
season?
For what? What's she?
It's just voice actor of the year, and Nezuko. The fucked up part is she voiced other characters that year, but it was Nezuko that got the nomination. I was like, that is the biggest slap in the face to every other voice actor, and no hate to her. She did
Yeah.
a fantastic job on her roles, but Nezuko did not deserve the nomination.
Yeah, because like I can't think of anything
Bro.
impactful that
Did
she
she
even
speak?
said until the end of the season. And
yeah,
I,
at the
again,
end, at the very end.
she had a line or two maybe, and that's about it.
Maybe it was for the scream. For the
A
for,
muzzled
like, the,
scream?
No, whenever she's like being dissolved by the sun, she like screaming. Maybe it was for that.
Give that to Asta. Austin has better screams.
Asta
My
screams
man.
are annoying. That's why we all read the manga.
Okay, I didn't really ever
Bro,
find him that
I will
annoying.
tell you right now, I would give my left fucking nut if it told me I can hear Asta scream fresh new animation next week.
It's one of the things
I
you
know,
miss. No, I get
said,
it, bro.
No, I totally get it. I at this point totally respect why everybody is like, I just can't get past the scream. I get it. Read the manga.
Yeah, he does do a lot. But like
after
when you
that-
haven't had Black Clover anime in years, and when you're like a diehard fan of it, I'll take it. I don't give a
had
fuck.
no
Give me a
idea.
slice
Go
of
watch
life.
Sword
episode.
of the Wizard King again.
Yeah,
I have seen it so many times.
it's because like I love Black Clover. I know it's not the greatest thing ever, but fuck it, it's just good to me. Like I
The
have
manga.
less issues with that than I do more current anime and shows. So.
Have you
See,
read the
and
manga?
there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm.
Please tell me you've at least read the manga. I know you don't watch anime, but please tell me you've read the manga.
No.
Give it a chance.
Like
It's
the
not bad.
the manga the anime threw me off so much. I had zero desire to read it.
It's Naruto 2.0, but with magic.
That's
See,
not a good selling point for him.
yeah, but it's one of those things. Like
But
it
with
is
a better
so
Shippuden.
popular that I feel like it has to have certain things that it does well.
I'll tell you what it does really
things that
well.
it does really well.
The art is some of the best I've ever seen in a manga. I fucking love it, and that's the reason I got him to pick up the manga,
Yeah.
because he used to be anime only, and then I caught up and I read the manga, and I was like, dude, you need to check out the manga. The art is night and day difference, and especially because like early on in the anime, Black Clover did not have great animation. It was iffy. Some episodes were good, some episodes were not so good, but the manga was consistently just good, clean. The penmanship was amazing, and I think you owning your own production studio and knowing the process behind it, I think that's what you would appreciate more than anything else. Maybe the story isn't the greatest thing, but the color spreads that they have, the full page spreads, just the art is fantastic.
So okay, I'll throw this out there. Who does it better, One Punch Man or Black Clover?
Okay, well that's like, I don't know. Some One Punch Man panels are
Fucking crazy.
like, dude, those need to go up in a fucking museum.
Bro, I raged whenever I made it to that one chapter that was 12 full spread double splash pages.
12?
I was
Mhm.
12. It was basically 22 full spread pages. And I was like, he is the only mangaka that I know of that could get away with doing that in a chapter.
Holy shit! Do I need to pick up the One Punch Man manga?
Probably, because think about it, like,
bro.
well, so the recent chapter of Black Clover we just got was like over 40 something pages, and the first like 26 I think only had like 2 full spreads,
Mhm.
and then the third one that had like 3, and they were all back to back, so it was like
So good.
6 pages of just straight.
Like full page spreads, and damn, this man can fucking draw. That's so good.
But yeah, I mean, that's kind of piquing my interest.
I think
Now that
he
you're
was
saying the
right.
art's.
Yeah, the art is really
But yeah, I used One Punch Man as a reference for fight scenes. I used Dragon Ball as a reference for fight scenes.
good.
and
Dragon Ball
I-
does it good.
Ooh.
See, Dragon Ball's art is nothing spectacular. Like, it's good, but really where Akira Toriyama's mastery is
What are you thinking? The
is-
same thing I'm thinking.
is his ability to actually lay out a page.
Yes,
And the way that he
paneling.
transitions. Yes, he is a master at that. And when you look at it, you don't realize it. But when you start to look at it, you're like, the way the characters literally pace themselves from panel to panel, it's bar none.
Yeah, I have never read, in my own experience, I know there's a lot of stuff out there, but I have never read another manga that can do paneling and action scenes the way Dragon Ball does. It is so fluid. You can follow every action, every punch, kick, key blast, everything, because I don't know how he does it. He just makes it so seamless, and I respect the absolute fuck out of that. Like, I love One Piece, I love the One Piece manga, but damn, like, it is a cluttered manga sometimes. I have to zoom in and see what the fuck is going on here because he just crams so much into it. And, like, that's his style. I'm not gonna say it's bad, it's just sometimes hard to follow.
Did.
Huh?
Did.
He did, yes, Akira Toriyama did a great job. Rest in peace. But, you know what I mean? Like, I fucking love Dragon Ball. That's why I collect a lot of them. I don't collect too many mangas, but Dragon Ball is one that I like to keep around because it's just so easy to read and nice to look at.
Okay, so if we're talking about artwork, have you ever watched or read Magi?
I fucking love you, Gary. So goddamn much.
Wait, Magi.
Like
Which one?
Labyrinth of Magic or Kingdom of Magic?
Hold on, I think I've watched part of it.
Okay.
Bro, the manga's artwork is incredible.
Incredible.
And I love the story too. I just
Oh, one of
absolutely love everything that she makes.
top 5, one of my favorite stories. But how abstract this woman is fucking crazy.
Her world building is super
Right,
fucking dope.
mm.
It's very detailed. Also, the artwork is some of the most detailed I've ever seen, because this one, like, the characters have these what are they called? Metal vessels, and that's what gives them like their powers basically. And they kind of do like a transformation, but it's like very quick. It's just like they get armor, they get a different look to it, and the detailing, the way they look is so good too. Like I look at it, I'm like, God, that's gotta take a long time, because there's so many like little details in the armor and the way their hair changes, and it's just like, and then they do action with that too at the same time, and sometimes you have like 5 characters in one like, you know, big panel with that intricate design fighting a really big fucking magical beast or something. There's a lot going on, and you're just like immersed into that art.
Why is he sucking on some booby right now?
Huh?
Who?
Like,
Him?
oh, I was looking at Magi, the labyrinth, to see what you guys are talking about. So I'm on like page
Oh.
17 of the first chapter,
Yeah, that
and he's
would
just
be,
not.
that'd
Yeah,
be
no,
Aladdin.
that would be Aladdin.
That's
He likes
Aladdin, yeah.
he likes titties.
He does that.
Like that. He
See,
looks like a little kid, so
listen-
girls are like, "Oh, so cute."
Listen, he didn't have like a motherly.
Yeah, he trying to get the milk.
Yeah. He just he never had any kind of motherly instinct like.
Or
Or
get the hell out of
motherly
here.
love,
He wasn't trying. He was 3 faces into it.
Yeah.
we were trying to talk
Yeah.
too much.
He didn't grow up as like part of any system.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to check it out because it does at least look hilarious.
It is.
It is really
it's,
funny.
It's
actually,
a lot of fun, but it's also it gets dark.
really quick
Yeah.
and like super abstract. Like there is gonna be a moment where you're gonna be like, "What am I sitting on? Is this life?
Mhm.
Am I real? Is this real?"
I don't-
Like
Is
it's,
this real life?
yeah. Honestly, it'll jack you up a little bit.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Fire Punch was a weird read.
Which one's
Yeah,
Fire Punch?
I've heard.
Yeah, I have heard too. I've read some of it. I haven't read. I got like probably 6 chapters in, something like that. But I never really like read it fully. But I've heard a lot of people speak very highly of it.
See, here's the thing. Yeah. Oh gosh. Fire Punch is one of those series I can understand why a ton of people drop it, because it uses sexual assault and the threat of it constantly in the beginning. Like I was getting ready to drop that series because I was like, "Oh come on, man, is this really the best that you can do? It does every villain got to be a rapist?" And then I came across the chapter where they introduced the chick, and it completely did a 180 from that one chapter, and from there I fell in love with it.
Wow.
Mm.
It's gotta be a
So it
powerful
has
chapter.
one of the it introduces one of the best characters in the whole series. They quit using sexual assault to make people the bad guy,
Mhm.
and so it's basically almost like a completely different story. It does the quickest 180 I have ever read.
Okay.
pretty dope.
I might actually have to give it another shot and go and read it then.
Yeah, if you can flip the story like that and convince you otherwise, then that's pretty good.
Like when I say I was close to it, I was literally like, "This is the last chapter I'm giving it." And then it happened. So it has one of the weakest openings, but it has one of the weakest openings and endings, but the journey in the middle is just great.
Okay. I'm gonna definitely.
See, that's a
go.
series for me to read, but not like someone like Bunny Lord. It's like, beginning didn't interest me, ending was boring.
Yeah, I have to have like a little bit of interest too, you know,
Mhm.
to get me hooked into
Yeah.
it. Like, made me care about something. Right?
Yeah.
So,
Go
oh,
ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
No, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
I don't want to.
I'm like, no, you say
Alright,
something.
You say that because now we're gonna get into like one of my favorite questions because I love watching people stumble with this one. You got a like a top 5 anime/manga list?
Yeah, I do. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up my anime list. I've already got it rated.
Okay.
I feel like I gotta start using that.
Your anime list?
Hey,
Like the actual, like my anime list,
Oh, gotcha.
because you can rate it and it
See,
like, categorizes. Sam
thought
uses it all
about
the time.
using it too, but that's just like, then all of my watch preferences are out there.
it's okay. Like, don't worry about people judging you because they're gonna do that anyway.
Yeah, If after
So-
130 episodes they haven't judged
Listen,
you,
buddy. Yeah, there's
I
that.
mean, no, they've been judging. I just don't
Exactly.
care.
Remember-
then you won't care about this.
Even when it's
Yeah,
out there,
but-
you're not alone.
but if I put everything I've watched on there, y'all might judge me.
Gary, it's a little late for me to judge you.
You've seen some of the shit I've watched.
I've
bro.
watched some of that shit with you, bro. It's fine.
Okay.
You're good.
I
Redo
judge.
Healer was great.
We're all degenerates.
Oof.
I'm a degenerate. by
Redo of a
association.
healer was Redo of a healer pissed me off for a couple reasons. Because it's
Shit.
here's a hot take right here. Goblin Slayer
Uh-huh.
started one of the most toxic and destructive eras in dark fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Because it turned people around on what dark fantasy was. Instead of it being a thematical and world building sense of what makes something dark fantasy, it was like, does it have a lot of rape in it? Does everyone got to be a pedophile? If so, then it's dark fantasy. And then we're like, no, now we're fighting the battle of saying it's dark fantasy, but it's not edgy fantasy.
Mhm.
And that's why I'm like, fuck these guys.
Dude, it's so fucking nice talking to a writer that understands, like, you don't have to be surface level dark and edgy to be like a dark and edgy manga, anime, whatever. Like, it's about the themes, it's about the actual story and the, that process, not just because it's, oh my god, like a horrific scene at the beginning makes you dark and edgy. Like, no, there's got to be reasoning behind it.
Exactly. And so few people like it's just it hurts my feelings.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes shows will just do it for the spectacle of it and like the wow factor. Like, oh god, they're showing this.
Like, holy shit, yeah, they're actually doing that.
You want to know a really bad one? Goblin Slayer. I love the art. By the way, if you love art, Goblin Slayer has some of the best art in the fucking game. It is fantastic. The fight scenes are fantastic, and the spin-off of the series actually gets you into the thoughts of Goblin Slayer. It dives into his backstory a lot more. It is a much better told story. But holy fuck, every volume basically at the start of it has a rape scene in it, and we're just like, bro,
Jeez.
we've gone through this. We know what the goblins are about.
We know what they're about.
They be fucking.
We-
We don't need to
Yeah,
see it every
we don't
time.
need it. Yeah, but I got my list. So
Okay.
top 5 anime. The only ones that I have ever rated a 10 out of 10. The first one is Claymore.
Oh wow.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that one actually.
That's,
It's
Wow.
basically female berserk.
Oh,
Konosuba season 1 and 2.
okay.
No
interesting.
season 3.
I haven't watched it yet,
Okay.
but
okay,
I am
okay.
so excited.
Okay, yeah.
The
Oh
third
man.
one is the Dungeon of Black Company.
I don't know that one either.
I don't know that one.
Yeah,
So-
I heard of that.
Oh,
It's one of the few isekais that I enjoy, and it's basically, what if this dude finally made it in real life, and the moment that he finally made it, he had money, he had everything he wanted, he got teleported to another world and got put into a black company. And a black company is the Japanese, basically, the suicide factories, where they work you to the point you jump out of the building and kill yourself.
oh my god.
Those are exploitative companies, and he basically gets teleported into a world where he has to work for them. And so he basically works with the monsters and all this other shit to form unions and stuff like that. It's hilarious.
Wow.
Bro, I'm gonna watch this.
You
What's
said it's
it
called Dungeon of a Black Company?
Yes.
Okay, I just sent the name of that to the group chat.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that is very much down my line. Come in, it's like, no, we're gonna form systems. We're gonna create groups and policies. That's hilarious. I love it.
That's basically what he does.
Wow.
And
Fuck yes.
And number 5 at rate, and the only shows I've ever rated a 9 are all basically a tie between Fate/Zero,
Oh yeah.
Future Diaries.
Future
Fate-
Diary. Oh god, I dropped it after like 7 episodes. I'm sorry.
It's so it's all, and the only reason I put it at a 9 is because they went back and they fixed the ending.
Oh.
They went
Once
back
they
and fixed it. Okay.
Once they fixed the ending, it was a 9 for me.
Yeah, when they
So-
did that, I went back and rewatched it
Oh wow.
with the new ending.
Yeah,
Oh,
like the old ending was fucking ass. Oh, sorry. Fate/Zero season 1 and 2 are both 9s. Hunter x Hunter, Kill la Kill, One Punch Man, and Violet Evergarden are the only 9s I've ever done.
Damn,
Violet
this man
Evergarden,
got
I wanna-
fucking culture,
Yeah,
bro.
she does.
I like that you have like these sleeper picks too. That like the non-traditional ones, bro. Like more than half your list. I'm like, dang, I haven't heard of that actually. And I'm
You're gonna
intrigued.
cry if you watch Violet Evergarden.
I know everyone has said
Watch
that.
it
Like,
alone.
Okay.
I didn't cry, but I heard the movie is where it like really hit you in the phobas.
I could use a good cry.
I think we all could.
Quick-
I just enjoyed it.
You got
I just enjoyed it. Like it was just a really well paced story.
you got a favorite character in Fate? I'm just curious.
Oh God. So Fate, I want to be, you know, that guy and say it's Saber,
Okay.
but bro, let me tell you, Berserker, the blind Berserker, oh dude. But the character that I feel bad for is Ryder. Like the assassin Ryder, the fucking purple, like Medusa, dude.
Yeah.
She gets fucking dog walked. Like Riders just get dog walked in the series, and I'm just like, why do you hate them so much?
Sheesh.
I think we've only had one decent Rider through the entire fucking series.
Yeah. No, honestly, that's actually really fucking accurate, which sucks.
Like, why do we get an archer?
Archer's always
Archer
fucking cool.
better than a fucking rider every time.
Hell, Archer's half the time not even a fucking archer, really.
Hey,
That's
man.
what makes
Hey,
him
man.
cool, though.
Gilgamesh was fucking cool.
Dude, Gilgamesh was cool. I got actually a figure of Gilgamesh here.
That's like my favorite character in all of Fate.
I want to read or sorry, watch the one with the like bunny Egyptian brown girl.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that one where he's like low key, kind of like a good guy.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
I know nothing about that, and I really want to get my hands on it because I
face-
love her design.
The face of disgust when you said, "I
do
guess he's
too.
a good guy." There.
I love that design too. Loki, I saw a clip of that and I was like, damn, I might watch it just because she's kind of fun.
You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes like you gotta simp it, bro.
I'm a simple man. Oh, that's where simp comes from.
Simple.
Simple.
You just
Holy
realized that?
shit.
We're
Is that real?
10
Is
out,
that
10 out of
actually a
10,
thing?
dog.
live on the podcast.
That's an Anime Alchemist exclusive.
Ooh. But yeah, out of all the anime I've ever watched, I think it says my mean score is like a 6.13.
Wow.
Do you feel like you're like a harsher critic on anime and manga, being like part of the industry, kind of creating your own, or do you kind of just like you just vibe with something?
I feel like I actually use the scores as they're actually representative. Like the majority of my scores are 5 and 7. So 5 to me is average. Like if I watch it and it's an average show, it's not good, it's not bad, it's all right, cool, it was a show.
Mm-hmm.
Then I put it there. And then like if it's something partially memorable, then I give it a 7. Like if it's a genuinely good show that I'm like I would recommend to somebody, I'll put it at like a 7. And then I am very picky about, you know, the 9s and 10s and then 1s and 2s because it's so few shows that are just god awful and then just horrible.
What are some of the 1s and 2s that you have?
You know, that's a really good question. Like,
yeah,
you
we
know,
never ask like, we always ask your favorite top 5, but give me your fucking 1s
Like-
and 2s. What do you despise? What do you hate?
Let's see. I think they're shows that I dropped. So let's fucking see.
this is
here.
gonna end up hurting my soul, I'm sure now.
Probably.
So
Black Clover.
Chaos. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna catch hate for this. Oh god. So my number one is Chaos Dungeon.
Okay.
Okay.
And that was just a show that came out not too long ago, and it was just god awful for every component of it. It could do nothing right. And then a number 2 that I rated just as horrible is High School DxD.
Oh
Get this
no.
man the fuck off the podcast right now.
Well, I mean, I don't.
Dude.
Bro, hey bro, look.
I
We were
couldn't.
horny teenagers motivated by ass and titty when we were watching that, and zombies and guns.
Bro, if
Yeah.
you want a show that is
Oh.
titties and ass, go watch
DxD.
Prison School.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You got it.
You said high school DxD. You're
Mhm.
right. You're right. Yeah. No, there was. I mean, there was some. There is a story there. It's just like if hentai tried to be anime.
Then you get interspecies reviewers.
Hi.
That was actually kind of not bad.
You watch that?
Yeah, he did.
why am I not surprised? But like, I didn't know.
like all the I hated the
Saw it
how
on the
they
hub.
I hated how they set the precedent for everything, but like watching it unfold was enjoyable.
I've
not-
seen just random scenes of interspecies reviewers, and I'm like,
I like the episode where they grill meat on the girl.
Hmm.
'Cause she's like a lava rock golem thing.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
It was interesting. It was because it showed a lot.
Oh.
that's
Right, right.
because
right,
it showed a lot.
And have you guys ever seen Watomi, Watame?
Oh my god, fucking.
That's a number 2 for me.
I think so.
That's a number 2.
I think so. Wow, I have never seen that reaction.
I see why. No, it's fucking terrible.
Really?
It's basically
I have-
like I hate my life. Read the story about it.
Dude, I have never caught so much secondhand cringe in my life. Like, I couldn't. I made it 9 out of 12, and I'm not even gonna say that the story is poorly written. It's just, it's just so cringy.
I don't want to experience that.
Yeah, the cringe is literally so bad. Like my stomach curled
Wow.
at what this character was doing, and I was like, I can't do this anymore to myself.
I'd have to pace myself. Like I'd watch part of it or read part of it, and like get to a point, and I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna
Enough.
pick this back up.
Wow.
One of my homies was like, "It's really good. Watch it. You'll like it." I was like, "I'll try for you." No, no. Don't watch
I've
it.
never seen you have such a visceral reaction to an anime in 130 episodes. This is fantastic. I didn't know there existed an anime.
Man, we
like
should
that.
talk about anime
dude,
that's
it's-
bad more often.
Well, I've
What are you
got a
talking about? We
few.
do all the time. It's called Boruto.
There he is.
Ooh,
He's
there it is.
back.
He's back, baby.
Yeah, the cameras are rolling.
Are you-
I'm now muted.
Oh, soundboard. didn't work.
Did y'all ever see Prison School?
Oh God.
Maybe.
Dude, I gave it a 7.
A
Hey.
7.
Really?
I'll take
I
it.
just couldn't get past like the like masochistic simping.
Dude, it was a
Rick-
show that knew exactly what it was wanting to be,
I-
and I respected
that's
it for its
true.
unbridled. I know what I am.
They committed.
know what I
That's
am.
fair. That's fair. Yeah. No, there was no getting past it.
Like you knew what you were getting into, and like you weren't gonna make excuses about the show.
I did. Yeah, you're right.
I just
I
sad
just
that the
couldn't
manga
keep-
flopped.
Wasn't
couldn't
Kill
keep
La
watching
Kill
it.
like high up on his list, or was it a comic?
No, that was
That was like his
It-
number
Kill-
5, I
Kill-
think.
Kill la Kill was number 5. Like it had a 9 out of 10.
Dang.
It was just fantastic. Like,
It was.
Listen, man, I'm
was.
trying, but I just don't fucking care for it.
Bro, just watch it for the ass cheeks.
I could watch a million other things. I could watch One Piece right now and Egghead for the ass cheeks if I wanted to.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, but there's a lot better fan art out there of that. You don't need to watch it.
Bro, I gotta
See,
fucking move it. And like they're teenagers in school. And it's just
No,
like,
no,
oh.
I'm not talking about Kill la Kill. I'm talking about One Piece.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
There's better fan art
See-
out there than what we're seeing. Just
You're
watch
right.
Kill la Kill.
You're right.
the thing that made that like I could push myself through Kill la Kill and just ignore the fact that they were kids is the fact that it was satirical.
Yeah,
It was-
I
That is the only reason why it did not bother me, is because it was putting a satirical lens to it. And I was like, all right, cool. I don't do fan art of Kill la Kill. I don't like really do anything about the series because
Right.
of that reason, but
I think like,
I thought it was well done.
I think like one of the reasons that like I couldn't really get into it was because I was watching it and I'm like, oh my god, this like, and you know maybe I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but this just felt like such an anime, like such like an obvious like we're anime, we do big anime things and like big anime fights, big anime transformations,
Didn't
titties
you
everywhere.
watch
I'm just like,
Gurren Lagann?
bro, I haven't watched Gurren Lagann yet.
God.
That's why.
Have you watched Promare? Have you seen anything by Studio Trigger?
Gary, you've
That's
seen my
their
list.
style,
I
bro.
understand that. That doesn't mean that like I fuck with that style always. Like sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. I'm not saying Kill la Kill is bad. I never once have said that because it is rated so highly by so many people that it's got to be good. I just for some reason I'm just like, God, I thought this was gonna be completely different, and I think I had, and it's more on me. I'll admit my expectations were different, and when it was so like out of my expectations. That's what threw me off, and I was like, oh god, I didn't. This isn't what I thought it was gonna be. It turned into a whole thing.
I am so glad you got there because that is what a lot of people don't talk about is why they don't like a show, even though it can be good, is because of the expectation that is built around. Like,
Yeah, and that's all my
there's
fault.
no-
There's nothing on them. Like that's just
Yeah.
me, being me.
yeah, and it's completely valid because Shield Hero to me was that show. It set itself up to be a dark fantasy story, and then it boiled down to be the most average anime, just the most bland, average piece of shit I've seen. And it's not because the show's bad; it's because it started so good. I thought it was going to actually tell a story that actually had thematical points, and then it boiled down to be the most basic. I picked up the fucking manga for this show because when I saw it, I was like, it's got to get better. It cannot boil down to be this basic. I went up to volume 10 and I was just like, I can't believe it. That show pissed me off on such a level because it promised to be something so different at the beginning.
That definitely should have been in that list of like animes that have.
That's
falling off.
That's definitely how I felt. Like first season hit hard as hell. That second season it was like, okay,
All right.
This is cool.
okay, what the fuck are we doing? And then that third season hit, and
Didn't bother watching
it was
it.
really really boring. And then they started jumping universes, so it was like, okay, infinite possibilities. This could be interesting. And then it was still boring.
Yeah. And part of the problem with it is they wrote a really bad villain because bitch was supposed to be like one of the big things, but they made everyone else in the entire universe so incompetent outside of the heroes party, like the direct Shield heroes party, that it made no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Why is anyone believing her after she's already been proven to be a fucking liar?
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Multiple times, and apparently even after I stopped, even after volume 10, they still kept on believing that bitch, and I was like, are you fucking kidding
At that point, it's just not even believable, even for a fantasy.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can get away with a fantasy. Yeah. Exactly.
I can only suspend my disbelief so
That's literally about
many
to
times.
say that. For so long.
Quote of the fucking century. I can only suspend my disbelief for so long.
Bro. But you know what? You don't have to expend your disbelief on, because guess what I heard they're making?
Mm.
Junior high school DxD.
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
No.
Junior high school DxD.
They made a Velma season 2.
Anything.
I'm not surprised. We just gotta figure out a way to get in on this gold rush of like people just having shows, even if they're shit. They're like, make $1 billion.
Make $1 billion. People love trashy TV. We've had this conversation before, bro.
I mean, Jersey Shore did great.
I'm saying you could go back to reality TV. It's not even anime, just like TV in general. People love their trashy shows.
Yeah, it's coming out May 17th of this year.
Is it because we're good that we don't get a lot of love?
Probably.
Gushing over
If we-
Magical
should we
Girls
just be,
did really
should we just
good.
be trashier?
Trashier taste.
Oh my
Ugh.
fucking
I'm just kidding. I'm
God.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
What was that show that just came out? It was the Magical Girl
Yeah.
spinoff.
Gushing over Magical Girls. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
That was
That was trashy as fuck. I mean, it had some
Dude.
really, really, really great wholesome moments, and then
This
they
is-
ruined them.
Bro, you know what's really fucked is one of my peeps said, "Hey, you should check this out. Like, it's an interesting, different version of a Magical Girl show." Like, and I'm like,
That's
"Okay,
got
cool."
baited, bro. You got baited.
Bro, I went into my fan Discord and had an anime watch night with this, not knowing what it was gonna
my
be.
god, bro, that's like okay. So I kind of snuck that in on Emory when we used to do our anime nights. You know, we had everybody on, and I was like, "Oh, hey, just put this on. It's ReZero. It's always uncensored and everything."
No,
Yeah. No,
not
it wasn't
ReZero,
ReZero.
It
Or,
It
I'm
was-
sorry,
it was
redo of Healer.
Redo
My
of Healer.
bad.
He told like we used to have
Ooh.
anime like nights where we went to like 3, maybe like 4 things on Discord.
Yeah, and it was like One Piece, Demon Slayer, and whatever like new was current in
Yeah.
that season. You know, like typical shit. And
And-
then we fucking
Just slid that in there.
Yeah, and like there was like
Your friend's a dick for not warning you, bro. Like, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
I regretted not listening to my friend because she was like, "Man, I've seen it. It's bad." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, cool, whatever." Because like normally I listen to her with it, but I was like, "Hey, it can't be that bad."
If this many
And
people
when I
are
started-
talking about it,
Bro. She left when I started it, and then I messaged her after. I was like, "You were right."
Dude, yeah, I remember one of the nights. I think it was like the first time that we were doing the watch party or the anime night, and then we were watching Redo of Healer, and some random person from the Discord joined in, and not even like 2 minutes later, they just left because
Yeah,
of the
but-
scene that was on screen. You're like, yeah, no.
but there was quite a few people who joined and immediately were like, "Oh my god, I fucking love this anime.
Yeah.
I've been looking for it uncensored."
Yo!
A lot of people would just hop in and be like, "This is Redo Healer? Where'd you guys find it?" I'm like, "We just have it."
Dude, the thing that made
Oh.
my Discord blow up was how to bang a dwarf.
That's
That's a
okay.
good
So like, let's get into
question.
that. How do you bang a dwarf?
Well, I mean, you bang them similarly to, a normal human, because in this world, dwarves are basically humans that were infected with a stone skin disease that will slowly petrify them over time. And they were rescued by the mother of dwarves, who is a 13-foot, 1-inch Oni giantess, and her boyfriend, a stone giant. They raised those kids, and then eventually they kept on rescuing these diseased kids, and the population grew and grew and grew. And to the point one day she actually blessed them with a mixture of her blood and some other chemicals, and it basically blessed the dwarves to where they would never be able to physically kill another dwarf intentionally without the curse basically killing them. Some people view it as a curse, some people view it as a blessing, because now dwarves have to talk out their issues with each other. But basically, if you don't have that disease, then you're not considered a dwarf.
Huh.
So,
And
so,
so-
wait. So how do you bang a dwarf without getting the disease? Is it contagious?
No, it's not contagious unless you eat a dwarf, and then you just, petrify yourself basically.
So you can't go downtown.
So you can go downtown. So the disease slowly takes over their body, and they take this thing called bakbai, which is a herb that slows the progression down. Like if you don't take bakbai, then by the age of 10, you'll probably basically have already petrified yourself. But with it, you can live to about, I think it's 60 or 80.
Okay.
But around the
enough.
age of 30 is where your genitals basically stone over, and you have to get a procedure called the pluck and cork, or
Okay.
the plug and cork, which is where they basically expand those orifices out, and they basically put a tube in there and a cork, so you can basically still use a restroom and stuff like that.
Wow.
Wow, that was so much more
That-
than
that-
yeah. Wow.
Dude, you have some world building, bro.
Bro,
That was off the dome. That was off the
That's
rip. He was
impressive.
like, "All right, let's get into this, man."
I got the.
Explain
I
it.
can
So
see
do
why
I
people
have to
flock
pull
to the
the
Discord.
cork out?
Wait, what?
Do I have to pull the cork out if I'm trying to get with the dwarf?
So once they stone over, the corks are literally just for them to use the restroom, the front and the back,
Oh,
because
oh.
the internals actually stone. So the way the disease works is initially it basically takes over where your skin would be, but at later stages it starts to go into your muscles, and then eventually you end up basically unable to move. You eventually starve, or you basically starve to death if no one basically euthanizes you. Because your head stones over, your mouth stones over, but those are all at the later stages. So, initially when you have to get the cork and plug, because if you think about it, your butthole is considered skin. So your butthole will eventually stone close if you don't get the procedure done. But the internals of the rectum are still fleshy. But as the stone skin progresses deeper and deeper into the muscles, that eventually stones it well. So you're literally just rubbing your thong against stone.
Yeah, that wouldn't feel good.
Damn.
Yeah.
Ah.
Did you get the stone skin idea from Game of Thrones by any chance?
No, but it was an inspiration. Like once I figured out kind of what it was going to be,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of looked at like, all right, because they do have this cultural thing where it's called stone shaving. It's basically their version of tattooing, but you have to get it continuously done and cleaned up. It's a sign of status. It's a very expensive procedure where they basically smooth it out, they'll like create little intricate designs in the stone, so like your arm can have basically this really cool intricate design on it. But if they go too deep, then basically it's incredibly painful. It can get infected, and then they'll basically have to remove an entire section out, cover it so the stone skin can once again take over that fleshy area and prevent further infection.
Wow. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
The level of detail, like
Yeah,
I'm
facts.
impressed.
That is so cool.
Oh,
I'd totally watch a series of you just being like, "This is a dwarf."
Oh, well. Well, then you're really gonna love this idea, because people love the idea of how to bang a fantasy creature. And I told the community, if we can get 30 Ruby Gold subscribers, I would build a mating manual. And all of the subscribers would get to pick a race that basically got to dive into of how do you date one? What's their culture around, raising kids, dating, marriage, and then eventually, how does their reproductive organs work? How do they like to have sex? The whole thing, so you can incorporate it into a TTRPG setting and not just focus on how to have sex. How is their actual culture around building friendships, relationships, marriage, and that kind of stuff?
Dude, that sounds sick as fuck.
that'd be really good for your horn fetish, Gary.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
Hey, bro.
He's not wrong.
Be much more well educated. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Are-
But
are the
if
horns
you-
like a part of it? Sorry.
Go ahead.
See, but the funniest one is when people figured out the forest elves. The forest elves by far are probably the most like, what the fuck? How did you come up with this? Because you know what an asparagus looks like, right?
Yes.
So basically, that's kind of what the male genitalia looks like for a forest elf. They do not have external balls, and unless it is mating season, because their actual biology changes between summer seasons and winter seasons. And so they only mate basically at certain points of the year, and that's when their genitals come out. Otherwise, it's basically like a Ken doll down there with like a little hole so they can pee. And then if you wanted to actually get inside to force yourself there, you would literally have to pull their lower parts apart, basically almost bisecting them to get to that organ. But for the females, it is a shallow chasm where basically the dick will go in, and then their vaginas are almost like flowers where they'll wrap around the shaft. And it closes with such force, it can literally crush your balls if you're a human. And they don't go in and out like humans. They actually vibrate the tip. And then the tip of the male asparagus will open up and shoot a needle through a specialized organ where the the cervix would be, to basically prevent human sperm from going in, and it'll deposit it via like a needle injection, and then it'll retract the needle once it's deposited the egg, wrap itself up. The female will then unfurl the flower, and then they can disconnect.
That is so vivid.
I
detailed?
pictured
I love
all
this.
of that. Like,
I love this. This is everybody who's listening to this. Be thankful.
go to this
Just
man's
bless our
Discord
ears.
and
Subscribe. We need this.
I need a book of this because
Right. I've already got a cover design for the book, and I've started like drafting like little sections so people get an idea of what it's going to be. Because the idea is I was going to frame it from the perspective of like interspecies reviewers, where you have a team of scientists that go out and basically interview different cultures of these races. Like, how do you guys, do relationships, marriage, friendships, all that kind of stuff. But they're also going to have a Brimborn with them. And if you don't know about Brimborns, that's a whole different thing. They're basically like my version of tieflings, where they can breed with anything. Like their bodies literally are designed to adjust to most type of species to give birth.
Okay.
But they're going to actively participate with these cultures and seeing, what is it like for a Brimborn to mate with, a forest elf, a lizard folk? A human will do the same thing to basically see the differences in, like, is it feasible for these species to, intermate? And so that's the framing of it. It's going to be a full detailed journal style book.
I like that.
I hope you do golems, and then there's different kinds of golems. I don't know if I feel like that'd be fun.
That is up to the subscribers and what they want to see. And if it doesn't exist, then I'm pretty sure I can come up with something. Because we have ooze girls. They're called oozeriks. And they appear in Night of Slaughter Volume 2.
That sounds hot. Ooze girls?
Mm-hmm.
Like if a girl was a slime?
Yeah.
Sold.
See, yeah, I am too. That's hot. Can you see through her?
It depends on the oozerik, but generally, like, they do have some transparency to them.
Oh, double sold.
Yeah, double sold. I'm buying it twice.
Boom, boom. Okay, that'll be $25.
Worth it.
Oh
my god. This has been probably one of the most interesting interviews. I told you this was going to be one of the best episodes we've had.
Yeah.
It just like randomly took that turn. He was like, this book though. It was like, hey,
such a natural.
I would do research.
Yeah, we just naturally moved that direction. No, that was fucking.
Somehow we went from Discord to that, and I love it.
Discord to dicks.
Thank the Discord, because it's because of the fans that I have literally been forced to dive this deep. Because I have spots in my Discord where you can ask questions, whether it's NSFW or not. It will dictate what channel you put it in.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm happy to world build deeper into aspects that people like, which is why Cypher is probably the most fleshed out goddess that we have, because people love the idea of a black-skinned Medusa void goddess. Like, and they ask her, what's her day like? What does she like to do? How does she run her stuff? And it literally compounds, and I build on what the audience wants to see.
I think that's dope. That also shows like your strengths in just like writing, like as a writer, that you can come up with such minute details that like maybe like the vast public wouldn't ask, but like a couple people might, and the fact that you have answers for them is really dope.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the whole point, is the idea of why you support indies versus big corporations is because, like, you're never gonna get to hang out with Gay. You're never really gonna ask him one-on-one, like, hey, what's this aspect of your world? But with indie creators, you get that opportunity to not only read the stories that you enjoy, but you get to interact and build a relationship with a creator professionally. You don't want to be a Minecraft YouTuber, building those relationships. But you also get to potentially help build that world and help the creator, dig into aspects that they may not have thought about before to make it even better.
That makes sense.
And I'm kind of glad that he brought that up, because it's like something we do like to ask about, but he kind of gave insight as to like what's that whole, I guess, the community. The community of indie manga and comic creators, like, we've noticed that like a good chunk of y'all are mutuals and like know each other and probably have interacted more than once. Like, yes, y'all are very much intermingled. Like, you brought up ND, and we know ND. We had him on fucking weeks ago.
Yep.
The reason why we knew about ND was because of the Buff Anime Nerd, and like those guys recommended somebody else, and like that's how we've ended up like getting to know all of y'all. But like that's the key thing I realized, is that y'all are a very tight-knit community.
Yeah, I recommend you guys talk to Jacob. Oh God, what's his TikTok? Because he's working on a series called Land. He's gonna kill me. Land Beyond the Sea. It's Jacoby McNamara, and his art, like, he does traditional. Like, while I do everything digitally, he does traditional and then uploads, and his shit is just super really nice, detailed. It's got that Greek mythology vibe to it. Really talented guy. Like, it's fucking crazy. Literally super last minute with everything. Like, I even run my own like anime community in town, like building it up for anime watch nights, book clubs, the whole 9 yards.
That's awesome.
And I am very last minute about my stuff too, because we also do like movie watch-ins, and I'm like very of the day. So if I'm like, oh, it's Thursday, what's out? Hey, anyone want to go? And they're like, can't you plan this out? And I'm like, no, I cannot, because I didn't plan ahead. I lost my job this year. Like I got out of the military as a veteran, and I lost my job because of layoffs. And I do this full time.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Well, this is, dude. Props to you. It is hard being a full-time creator.
Yeah, like, and I'm super thankful. Like, I thought I was gonna be late because in my room now, I just got more of those custom mailing boxes that everyone loves so much, and I ended up getting 1,000 of them.
Wow.
And yeah, what I learned is if you order in mass, they get cheaper because this is like $4,000 worth of boxes, shipping boxes,
Jeez.
4Gs.
I'm gonna throw up.
But I also just ordered, like, you know, those plastic white mailers that you can just fold over and then pull the adhesive tape and slap on the back.
Yeah.
So I found a vendor who can give me full custom color front and back of those. And we're going to start using those as well. And those are only like 300 and some change for 1,000.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No, that's
So-
that's sick.
Yeah.
I like bags like that too. Like
Dude, it's amazing getting custom stuff because no one sees this kind of shit. And it's just such a simple thing that you can do to like increase your, you know, your brand. And because the reason I did the mailers and not the boxes is because people have been wanting to put them up on their wall and stuff like that. I'm like, it's a fucking box, man, and I gotta put the label on the front. So part of the artwork's getting covered. But if I use those mailers, I designed it so you get the full artwork on the front, and on the back it tells you about the guild, and there's a 3x5 space for the shipping label on the back. So now you can hang those up on your wall.
Smart.
and now we're ordering one.
That was
Yeah, I'll be happy to send you guys some copies of the Night of Slaughter and Devil's Deal.
Yeah,
Oh, hell yeah, appreciate it,
absolutely. We like every time we've had somebody come on, we you know, we love to support you know. So we've got a little indie collection growing over there, right there. It's in between the Funkos. I did that. I don't know if you guys noticed it.
Oh.
Wait, what are they?
We have Hustle by
I fucking thought that was Hustle.
Tyler
That's a
Davis,
second.
and then we have
Oh my god, I knew the other one was gonna be fucking Rune. I knew it. Yo, as soon as I saw that one, I was like, is that Rune Symbols cover? And I'm like,
Hell yeah.
Just fans, bro. We're just fans trying to support what we love.
bro, I respect Rune Symbols grind so much because the shit that he
Same.
does it's so cringy, but I respect the fuck out of him. And especially like when he does those like edits, like the Photoshop edits of like Drake and all them holding up his manga. I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
It's funny though. Hey, we're talking about it, so it's clearly working.
fuck,
Dude, it works. We had a conversation about it. I was like, and he was like, yeah, dude, I do anything to get the attention. I'm like, you know what? I respect the fuck out of you, but I've been holding myself back from doing the same thing because I'm like, I can't dilute myself to that level of cringe yet.
Yet. Keyword being yet.
See, he's
Yet.
I've learned you gotta start with the aggressive cringe, and then you like slowly just start to pull it back.
Dude, that's why do you think people knew me for a while as the guy who talks about how to bang fantasy races? I do a different level of cringe.
They're for a
Yeah,
fat
he
minute.
went in. He went
He
in.
did win in. He did win in.
Yeah, he did win in.
He did. Oh, fuck
Giggity.
him.
Bro.
I couldn't help it.
I know.
Fuck, but we've been going for a fat fucking minute. I really appreciate you coming on, man. This is so much more fun.
That was a
than I
great
expected.
conversation, bro.
You gotta come back at some point, man. I know you're probably busy. You got a really busy schedule, but yeah,
I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go get my toes done with my wife today.
Ooh.
Oh hell yeah, get that foot massage on top of it, bro.
Dude, we get pedicures as like a little date day thing going on.
Nice.
It's always
Hell
great.
yeah. Do they serve
I
alcohol
was
at
just
the,
about
at,
to
the,
ask.
at the nail place too?
No, hell no, they're not that cool.
Bro, there's places that do that.
Find
I
you
mean,
a
we
place
might-
that'll bring you like a mimosa while they do your shit.
They call them nail bars.
Mm-hmm.
Nail
Crazy.
bars?
Yeah.
I'll have to see if we got one around because like we need to find a new place because people like to close down on Sundays.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck, that's
Nah, that's bad.
But no,
Yeah, it's so fucking annoying.
I think most likely whenever when we've all read your stories or the manga that you do have out, we'll probably definitely have to have you back on just so we can we can ask some questions.
Yeah.
Well,
for
well,
sure.
you also said that all of your stories are occurring in the same world, right? So
yes.
it's like an interconnected universe in the sense that it's the same universe.
Absolutely. And you'll even see active cameos from different series.
Love that.
I love that. Yeah.
The thing that allows me to do it in this way is because they don't all take place in the same timeline. I always base the timeline on the most current active story. So right now, Devil's Deal is the most current story in the timeline. Night of Slaughter is 120 years before Devil's Deal, and then Deep Stalker Crow is about 400 years before Devil's Deal.
That's so
Wow.
cool.
Okay.
I love. I like that. Dude, there's even like the Fire Force and Soul Eater
Kind of thing.
Yeah. Like,
Don't
Not-
talk about it.
Yeah, I know. And I'm trying to compare, but it's the first thing that came to mind. I'm sorry.
Bro.
It's like Fairy Tale and Eden Zero.
Are they the same thing?
They're in the same universe.
They're in the same
Yeah.
universe.
I haven't
They
watched
got
it.
their own little happy.
Yeah,
an
that was
X-Eater.
weird.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I'm gonna throw a final hot take out here.
Oh, okay.
Go for it.
Fire Force is a disappointment. Fire Force is one of the biggest disappointments I've ever seen, and I think it is a true sign of an author's regression in talent.
Whoa.
Damn. I was like,
Because-
I didn't... Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
And the reason I say that is because Soul Eater was a really well put together, and we're not talking about the anime's ending, we're talking about the manga's ending. It was such a well put together story. It was such a well representative running a female lead character. I mean, with the exception of like Blair, like they didn't really sexualize their female cast that much. And Fire Force was a reduction in every
Oh.
single layer. I could not respect them for their female writing. And I was just like, how did you go from one of the best animes of that generation to this?
That's a fair point. That's my biggest complaint about Fire Force is just the over sexualization of like all the female characters, specifically like Tamaki. Bro, she pisses me off. Like she could be a good character if she just wasn't like, you know, half naked 90% of the time.
Constantly.
Like, I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
some people maybe found
Yeah.
it funny at first, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I was like, oh, okay, cool, you know, traditional anime trope. And my thoughts on fan service is this, like, I am fine with fan service. I love some titillating content. But when that titillating content gets in the way of storytelling, that's when I have a problem. When you ruin a moment because you have to sexualize something, that's when you done fucked me up.
Yeah.
Like you when they do that, it's like you might as well just make porn.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
you
what I'm
you
like.
drew
Like,
me
what-
in with the story. You know, now we're at titties.
Yeah. You're just putting it in for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't add anything. It's just there.
Like there's like I love Prison School because, you know, that's kind of what the story is about. Like it's supposed to be a joke.
Mm.
It's supposed
It's
to
a
be
show that's
horny.
aware.
And it
that's-
commits to it too.
Yeah. But Fire Force isn't that. It was supposed to be a show that tells a story. It's a fucking shonen.
It's a very
Yeah.
it's a shonen.
He's right. It is made for like young boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
It's
a
literally
really
a bunch
good
about,
point.
it's a bunch about people playing with fire. Come on, what boy doesn't go through a fire phase?
Yeah, just lighting little girls on fire. Like why not? Fuck
Yeah.
it.
Fuck my sister's Barbie's hair.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Put that bitch in an oven.
Yeah, I will say, I know you've had a lot of hot takes, and you at least can back it all up, and you have very solid reasonings for all of it. So I respect that. Some people just have a hot take and then don't back it up. They're like,
Like Emery.
Fuck is
Why-
my
why-
hot take?
What? All right, fine. I've been giving my hot takes. What's a hot take for each of you?
No, I've said we've said it.
well, but I'm still curious what it is to give me ideas.
It's the Dragon Ball one, bro.
Yeah, fuck you. If you say anything about GT, I'll fight you right now.
The best part is I didn't say anything about GT, bro, and you got so heated.
I don't care that I've said it before. I'll say it again. GT is not that bad, and it's better than Dragon Ball Z.
You know what? I have a good hot take for just right now because I recently checked it out. Dragon Ball Daimo's not that bad.
It hasn't come out yet.
Like Dragon Ball what?
The animation. For
Oh,
it?
just the animation for it? No, the animation.
Oh, not that bad.
You say Dragon Ball Magic?
Yeah,
the Daimo
dude,
ones
dude, I
come
was
out.
hating, but the animation for it looks so good. The action sequences are incredible.
Sounds like some Demon Slayer meat riding right there.
Hey, bro, whenever I got to see Goku dismantle the Red Ribbon Army in new animation updated when they released that movie, I was very happy. Now we're just getting more of that.
Bro, we should just kill Goku. Goku should no longer be a part
They
of Dragon
killed
Ball.
Multiple times.
No,
No, like
Goku needs to stay dead.
Goku like needs to move on. Like I think we need a new protagonist in Dragon Ball.
Or Dragon Ball.
That's one that I don't think I've ever said. I'm genuinely tired of seeing Goku as the protagonist in Dragon Ball. I would care more about any other character taking the lead in the story other than Goku. I am tired of Goku. And I think Dragon Ball Super ruined Goku for me, actually.
Marin.
Fuck it, I'll take it.
Oolong.
See,
Don't care.
but I
Oolong's
mean,
funny.
it's a valid take though, because the story was always supposed to he was supposed to pass the torch to Gohan, and now we have 2 more generations of kids that could take the mantle from Goku,
Yep.
and
they're
yet
not
we
doing shit with them.
refuse to move on.
Yep.
Yeah.
100% agree. Like, yeah, cool. Gohan finally has a new beast transformation. Badass. It looks great. It's probably really fucking strong. Did he earn it? Not really. Like, not at all. I actually saw a meme earlier. He did not fucking earn that transformation at all. He just got angry again and powered up. Like, I know that Gohan has so much potential. It's been stated over and over and over again. But God, like, just decide what you want to do with Gohan. If you want him to be a family man and, stick to that route, then okay, there's probably something interesting that you can do with that. If you want him to take over as the strongest Earthling, Saiyan, whatever you want to call him, then you can go that direction too. But they're trying to do both at the same time, and it doesn't work for me.
So I take it everyone at the table likes Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah.
Jen, all right, I got something that's really gonna piss y'all off.
Motherfucker.
So now keep in mind, I have not had a chance to read it, so I've only seen screenshots of the page, so it possibly could be doctored, but I don't think, no, I did actually read this page. I went to the fucking chapter to see it. Goku didn't earn anything. The whole concept of Dragon Ball is a fucking lie.
He kind of worked hard.
He did not earn anything because it was predestined. His father made a wish for him to succeed, basically.
What do
He
you
made
mean
a wish for his. So in Dragon Ball Super, there's a frame where we get a flashback of Goku's father.
Are you talking about the manga?
Huh?
In the manga?
Yeah.
Oh.
In the manga, his father makes a wish to basically have his sons be strong.
You see that
And
in the,
it
didn't work for Reddit.
Reddit's got
You
fun.
see it in the Super movie too when they introduced Broly.
But I thought it was just oh, I hope you're strong. Like, what you mean? It was like a wish, that was granted type thing.
Yeah, there was they summoned one of the dragons, and Bardock made the wish that his sons would be strong or some shit like that. So the whole premise of the show that Goku worked to become stronger was all predetermined because the dragon granted that wish. Goku was destined to always be strong. He was destined to be the first Super Saiyan, really, because the dragon granted Bardock's wish.
That's fucking wild. Because I know I haven't been keeping up with the Super manga.
It was just Sun Jin-woo, and the system made sure he succeeded.
Making
The
sure
system
that-
just was constantly making sure.
Oh my god. Oh, you might have ruined Dragon Ball for me if that's true, bro. Goku
Yeah.
is the ideal figure of working hard will, lead to success type thing. It's the most basic.
Goku's the biggest Nepo baby in the world.
I knew I liked Vegeta for a reason. He worked hard.
Mhm.
He actually earned half the shit that he has.
Yeah,
Nah,
like
he
how
was
you said
royalty.
Half. I said half. I said half
Yeah.
the shit.
half. Okay.
I wish I had the chapter on me so I could actually look at it, because I think that might also be the reason why Vegeta can never actually supersede Goku.
He's never lost to Goku in a fight.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Wait, he's never lost to Goku in a fight?
Yeah, Vegeta's never lost to Goku in a fight.
But he is objectively weaker.
We
than
are
Goku.
not doing this
Objectively.
argument again.
I love this argument. No, I'm just making
No,
sure.
because it's true. I mean, he's
Yeah.
never lost. 1v1, never.
I mean, Tien has
win's a win.
always beaten Goku as well.
You
Dang.
mean
Yeah.
Goku has never lost?
No, Vegeta
No,
has
Goku's
never
lost.
Yeah, Goku's lost multiple times to Vegeta actually.
Goku's
Yeah,
died multiple
yeah.
times to different villains.
That's true. You're right. You're right.
I just want to point this out. Tien beat Cell.
Tien beat Cell.
Yeah, he totally beat Cell, bro. Put him in the ground.
He
Tien beat Goku.
Technically,
beat Goku.
Cell never even landed a finger on him, bro.
You're right. You're right about that, actually.
Kiko,
This
go
is
fuck
too
yourself.
much of a fucking rabbit hole, bro. Dragon Ball. We should have led with Dragon Ball, in my opinion.
Yeah, we probably
Alright.
should
You
have.
never said your hot take.
I really couldn't fucking think of any that I haven't said already.
I said mine.
If Krillin had a threesome with 18 and 17, would it technically be incest?
Yes,
Yes.
because they're cyborgs. I'm sorry, androids.
But are they actually related?
Yeah, Lapis and Lazuli.
Yeah, they were taken from like when they were, I think, kids or like young teens or something, and then they got turned into cyborgs, which is like artificial humans. They're not fully robotic. Like Android 16 is fully robotic, but 17 and 18 are like partially human. That's why 18 can have a child. Like that's why she had Marin.
Yeah, she still had all the baby maker parts.
Interesting.
Krillin made sure she did.
I really can't think of anything that like.
We'll come back to it later.
Yeah. If I come up with
Next
something-
time we have you on, man, we'll be
Okay,
ready
that's
with a
good.
bunch of like hot takes. How about
Expect him to have at least 6.
Yeah. He won't
Got
take it
homework now.
Yeah.
All right, sounds
There you
good
go.
to me.
that? Yeah, but we appreciate you hopping on the episode, man. It's been a great conversation. And is there anything you want to, I guess, say to the fans? Any projects that you're working on currently? Just anything you want to say?
Yes, I will happily self-promo myself. So, I write Dark Fantasy exclusive, and the easiest way to summarize my series is if Guts from Berserk and All Might from My Hero Academia had a baby together, you would end up with Night of Slaughter. And if Frieren had a baby with Dracula from the Castlevania series, you would end up with Devil's Deal.
Sold on that one.
Yo, okay,
All
that's
right.
interesting.
Yeah, and
Combination.
then the last one. Unfortunately, I don't know the main character of Bloodborne. I think he's just called the Ashen One
Yeah, the Ashen one.
or some shit like that. But if Bloodborne had a baby with The Witcher, you would end up with a Deep Stalker Crow series. And while you can get everything physically, I do have everything up on my site, and you can read all of my chapters for free with the exception of the last chapter of each book. And that also includes reading chapter 10, 11, and the upcoming chapter 12, which is coming out for basically Devil's Deal and Night of Slaughter at the end of May for free. And Deep Stalker Crow will have its first chapter revamped probably in the middle of June.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
Nice.
Dude, that's a lot for free. And then just like at the end being like, just pay to see
Yeah.
for this last one.
Support
That's
the
dope.
man.
Yeah, that's the point. I want to have as much reader accessibility as possible to, one, prevent piracy, and two, if you can't afford a $25 physical copy, then you can pay $3 and read the digital copy through our subscription service.
Nice.
Perfect.
I, like
love that.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't be easier for people. Check it out, y'all. It sounds amazing. We will be definitely checking it out as well.
And we will leave. I saw that we will leave the link for your website in the description below.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
Appreciate everybody listening. We'll catch y'all next time. And
Alchemist out.
Alchemist out.
Hey, thank you for all your time, bro.
Yeah, seriously.